Hey guys, my name is Megan, obviously. Amanda wanted me to do this video for you guys. I was actually going to do this video at convention, but we ran out of time, and I just think that it is a very powerful story that I want to share with you guys. It gives me a little bit of a motivational speaking training, I guess, in a sense, too. I want to be a motivational speaker when I grow up. But I really do want to share a story with you guys, and I think that it'll hit a lot of you guys. It'll hit home a lot for a lot of you guys. So I want to tell you guys a story. But first off, I want to thank everybody who went to convention. Those of you who paid for that ticket to get to convention. I know a lot of us, myself included, really struggled to get there. Whether that be financially, life, whatever happens in life struggles that are thrown at us. We all deal with struggles, and it was very motivating to see a room full of like-minded people with the same goals and the same wants and the same needs as you. And even for me to look out into that crowd and just see the motivation behind all of them was just so inspiring. So thank you guys who got there, who made it happen, whether you're struggling financially, whether you're struggling with whatever you're struggling with. The fact that you got yourself there, you invested in yourself and in your business. And I know as a lot of people who can attest to this, when you're struggling, you can't afford not to be at something like that. So I just want to thank all of you guys for being there, because I truly feel like it was very, very motivating for me to see that. And along with that, I want to give a little bit of a story that kind of ties into that. A lot of you know my story. The majority of you know my story. Some of you haven't. Those who do are probably annoyed at my story already, but obviously my name is Megan. I am with Reveal I've been with Reveal since 2017. I joined May 1st of 2017. And much like Jordan Adler, when he spoke to us at convention, he showed us all of those credit cards. Guys, that was me. I wish I was kind of kidding when I say that, and I wish I was exaggerating, but I'm not. I had every single credit card of mine maxed out. I had negative $460 to my name. I was living paycheck to paycheck at a job that didn't pay me well, a job that bullied me, harassed me. I was coming home crying every evening. It was just, I was not in a good place in my life. I was stuck. I was in a rut. And I joined this company on a whim. When people are saying I just can't afford it right now, guys, I couldn't afford it either. But I paid off one of my bills on one of my credit cards, my minimum payment, and I had $106 left on there, so I bought the $100 kit. I found a way to make it happen, and since then, clearly, I've motivated myself enough to succeed. I've gotten every single incentive trip so far. I've obviously climbed that rank chart. It's almost motivating for me to even listen to my story, because I know that actually happened to a person, and it was never in the cards to happen to me. So it's very, very motivating, and I want to tell you a story that goes along with that. We are all sitting at convention this year with this passion and this motivation behind us, but all of us, I know anyway, the majority of us sitting our butts in those chairs, we're struggling, whether that be, like I said, with financials, with life, with your business, with your customers. We're struggling. And I want to tell you a story about last year's convention. I was struggling as well, but I had a little bit of a different struggle, and it's a little hard for me to talk about. I mean, I can say I'm not gonna cry, but I will cry. Last year at convention, I walked in the door, and a lot of you that were there last year, not a lot, but some of you knew what was going on last year. Some of you didn't. I didn't really talk about it. But last year at convention, I walked in 5 days prior to walking into convention. I left my ex-husband. I walked out of a marriage that I never thought I'd have to say that. I walked out of my marriage. I walked out of an abusive relationship. I walked out of a very toxic relationship, and I took a stand for myself for once and said, you know what, you're worth it. So when I walked into convention last year, 5 days prior, I had left my marriage. That was my struggle. I shouldn't have been at convention because of that. I was not in a good place. I was very confused. I was very disoriented. I was not motivated at all, you guys. And I shouldn't have been at convention because I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I had just walked out of a 10-year relationship, finally telling myself that you're worth more than this. So I came to convention, and something happened at convention last year that really put me even further down. And that night that it happened, I was in a very bad spot. I was thinking to myself, all right, this is your sign. This business isn't for you. You know, you might as well quit. And that was my mindset. I went to bed that night thinking that. And Jordan said, don't quit on a bad day. That was my bad day. I was ready to quit. I woke up and came to convention that next day, went through all the classes and the training and whatnot. And on the way home, I told myself, this isn't you, Megan. This isn't you. Why on earth are you acting like this? You're not a quitter. You're not this person. Get yourself out of this rut and figure it out. And they said it good this past weekend. Amanda and Tammy both said it. And I've told my team this for so long, that when you are truly motivated to succeed, you will not fail. I was so motivated to succeed when I first started because I had to get out of that freaking job, you guys. I had to get out of that job. I wasn't making any money. I was being bullied. I was coming home crying every night. That was my motivation, and that's why I succeeded. I was motivated because I was forced to be. I had no other reason to not succeed. I couldn't not succeed. My level of having to succeed was sky high when I first started. And when people are saying, you know, I'm not getting anywhere, I'm not getting any customers, I can't rank up, what is your level of have to? If you're not succeeding, it's because you're not forced to succeed yet. You don't have to succeed, so you're not. My level of having to succeed when I started was so high that I made it a mission every single day that I woke up, that I was going to wake up and get stuff done, okay? And that's why I succeeded. I was at a very bad place at this point in my life where I didn't even know if I wanted to succeed. I had left, like I said, I had left an abusive marriage, and I didn't know my worth. I didn't feel that worth. But I walked out of that convention, and I went back to my why. I took myself back. I took myself back to my why, and I told myself, why did you start? Or I asked myself, why did you start? Why did you start this business? I brought myself back to my goal board. And guys, I'll show you. I'm shaking. I have a goal board, if I can find it. Sorry, there it is. I have this goal chart. It's kind of my vision board. I wrote down my goals the very first night I signed up. I wrote these down. This is my version of a vision board. Everything from get one sale before your launch party, get one pre-order. Sell out during your launch party. Sign up one team member. Get a team of 10 under me. Quit my job. As you can see, guys, there's check marks next to this because as I went every single day after I got off live, I went back to my goal board and I said, okay, what did I do today? Did that one. Okay, check it off. Oh, just signed up a team member. Check it off. Quit my job. Check. And I went through this over and over and over until I knew that the majority of these were starting to get checked off, and that was my motivation. That's my goal board. So on my way home from convention last year, I went back to that why I started, why I'm here, why I did what I did. And I was reading through all these goals, trying to get it back in my head. And I saw a goal on here that I hadn't hit yet. This was in my 5-year plan, you guys. This was in my 5-year plan. I wanted to be one of those first 5 people to hit that top rank of Sapphire to get that $10,000 bonus. I wanted to be one of those first 5 people. That was my 5-year plan. And I looked at it and I said, I can't do that. And you know why I couldn't do it? Because I was going to be the first. I told myself, I'm not going to be in the top 5 or the first 5. I'm going to be the first. And I'm not kidding you guys. When I read that, I told myself, I'll be damned if I don't walk into convention next year being that first Sapphire. And I've got 12 months to prove myself. I've got 12 months to get motivated. And that was my level of have to. I had to succeed, you guys, because I knew that I was living on my own now. I didn't have a husband anymore. Half of my family didn't approve of the situation that I was in. Half of my friends didn't understand. That was my level of have to. Suddenly I have a house payment that I never had before. I had to furnish my entire place because I didn't take anything other than my pets and my clothes. And that was 5 days prior to convention last year. I didn't have any money to be at convention. I didn't have any want to be there, but I did. And when I was looking through those goals, going back to my why, I saw that being one of the first 5 people in 5 years to hit that top. I said, no, I can't do that, because you know what? I'm going to be the first. And I got 12 months to get my butt in gear. You guys, 3 months later, it happened. Because that was my level of have to. 3 months after I said I'm gonna quit, I hit Sapphire. And I was handed a $10,000 check to furnish my house. And I haven't done this yet. But right next to that, as you can see, hit the top and get $10,000. I gotta find the check mark in the emojis, but I'm gonna check it off right for you right now. Check. Because that was my level of have to. I had to succeed because I was forced to succeed. And anybody in here who is having those struggles of you feel like you're not getting anywhere with this, you feel like you're not getting customers, you're not getting those viewers, what is your level of have to? Do you have to succeed right now, or will you be okay if you're mediocre? Because if you have another job on the side and you're cool with making that income, that's mediocre, you know? Not saying that you can't hold another job and do this at the same time. I'm not saying that, but you have income to fall back on. I didn't. My level of have to was higher because I had to make a paycheck. And I did whatever it took to make a paycheck. You have to figure out your level of have to. If you're not succeeding, you're not there yet. Okay? And I wanted to tell you guys that story because I really truly feel like it's motivating and it's motivational because we all struggle. Not a single one of you who are watching this has not struggled. I struggle on a daily basis. I struggled to be at convention this year. I struggled so hard to be at convention last year. But I did because I invested in myself because I knew that I had to succeed. Had I stayed home from convention last year, I would not have made it. Had I stayed home from convention this year, I would not have made it because I invested in myself and my business. I couldn't afford not to succeed, and I couldn't afford not to be there to help motivate me to get there. And you're looking at the very first Sapphire rank because I told myself I was going to do it in 5 years. That was my 5-year plan. And I told myself, no, I'm going to be the first because I'll be damned if I don't walk into convention next year being that first Sapphire consultant. I had 12 months to get my butt in gear and I did it in 3. Figure out your level of have to. Figure out that motivation. When you are struggling, go back to your why. Why did you start? Why did you sign up? Why did you need more money? Why did you want your kids to have a better life? Go back to that why because that's what's going to bring you to the top. That's your level of have to.